And joining me today is Jon Love. He is the executive chair and founder of Kingsett Capital. Welcome, Jon. Thanks for joining me today.
Thanks, Vanessa.
So, Jon, you built an impressive career in real estate. Let's start from the beginning. What were the defining moments that shaped your approach to business and leadership?
Well, I think what what sort of informed everything I've done is at the end of the day values, because all of the lessons I've learned over the years have shown me that the benefit of a really focused attention to core values: transparency, respect, humility, integrity, and those things. In my early career, I started life as a stockbroker. And then in my early Oxford days and so on, really shaped how I think about relating with people. And at the end of the day, real estate is all about relationships.
Absolutely. Now, given the geopolitical uncertainty and Canada's current economic positioning, how does the Canadian real estate market compare to other global opportunities right now?
Well, I think to a large degree, you need to discount all of the geopolitical noise. Obviously it's another topic. There's all sorts of concerns, globally, the anxiety with the relationships with our friends to the south. But from a real estate perspective, and in Canada, I think the core drivers underpinning the real estate remain intact. I think we're going to continue to see a growing population, and a growing population needs more everything: places to live, shop, work, play, and I think that trend, over the long term, will continue to play out.
It'll be interesting to see for sure. Now, real estate has traditionally been seen as a lagging indicator of economic cycles, but with the rapid changes, Jon, like interest rates, especially with the introduction of tariffs and new technologies, do you think the industry now needs to be more predictive and adaptive? And how should investors adjust their strategies to stay ahead?
I think best-in-class strategies have always tried to be predictive and looking ahead. One always has to, think about the economic conditions that you will be facing, whether you make an investment decision, a disposition decision, or just operating a property. And nothing's different today. The fact is, we're in a period of heightened uncertainty, which creates both challenges and opportunities. And the uncertainty will continue for a period of time until, first of all, we get our domestic politics sorted out. One assumes an election, et cetera. And then secondly, obviously the international, particularly the U.S. facing situation, which, I'm optimistic will find a level at some point. And once that's done, then we'll know. In the interim, we're going to have a period of uncertainty, which tends to both slow decisions by our customers, but also presents some interesting investment opportunities.
So, which real estate sectors do you see then offering the strongest growth opportunities in the current market? And what factors are driving your confidence in them, Jon?
I think, I think there's opportunities everywhere. I think that you see different opportunities in different asset classes, and really the opportunities depend on, what the organization's ability to execute on strategies really is. Clearly, industrial is facing the most headwinds with regards to tariffs and what that means to trade and economic development. We're seeing with office, obviously, the return to office story is, continues to move. And I mean, there's no question that's happening. And I think we'll see actually some a very interesting rebound in office valuations. Retail has been super strong. Now, of course, we'll see how tariffs translate into consumer lack of confidence, which could have some impact on retail. And multifamily, continues to drive off growing populations. And so I think there's opportunities generally across the board and generally in every geography.
So let's talk about Canada's leadership then. So, with the recent shifts that are happening in our leadership and policy direction in Canada, how do you see investor confidence in Canadian real estate evolving?
So, I'd be hopeful that it's actually improving, because for the first time, we've seen, the economy, the focus of all political leaders. And, as they all have a different view of how to execute a growing economy, I think it's become pretty mainstream that economic independence is needed for sovereignty, and economic independence means growing the economy. It's as simple as that. We'll see, should we have an election, what the different parties outline as their platform, and then Canadians will make a decision. But I'm optimistic that whatever decision Canadians make, it'll be based on growing the economy and using getting rid of interprovincial trade barriers, more work on resources and energy, rethinking corporate taxation, giving businesses permission to invest, getting rid of some of the like bill, I think it's Bill C-59, that basically prohibits any large energy or resource project. Like we have to move past that. And after 10 years of focusing on other issues, we now have to focus on the economy, which I'm confident is coming.
Now, you've been in this industry for a long time, Jon, and you've seen an evolution happen here. So looking back at your career, what major shift in real estate has surprised you the most?
Um, Perhaps one thing that always surprises me is, the relative cycles are, quite predictable. And the fact that today, we're in a relative lack of liquidity, it's quite predictable how this is a great time to allocate capital. And it's always most difficult. What surprises me the most is when it's pretty obvious to most when the right time to allocate capital is, how difficult it is for many to allocate capital. So as I look at, and it's not necessarily today, it could be 6 months from now, 6 months ago, it doesn't matter. But this is the same kind of opportunity we saw in 01, 02, that we saw in 09, 10, and it's just repeating itself again. This will be a great time. This is 2025 will be a great time to allocate capital to thoughtful real estate investments.
Well, Jon, I want to thank you for your expert insights on the market investment strategies. They are definitely helpful for our viewers, and I hope we can have you back in again soon.
Great to be here. Thank you so much.
Up next,